It's that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen. It is our first live film review of the year. We're going to look at the 49ers offense first, specifically with a big highlight on the 49ers offensive line. Dominic Puni, Trent Williams, Spencer Burford entered the mix. Colton Mckivitz, obviously, just Brendel, all of them. Really want to put a focus on the offensive line play because I do believe that it was a pretty solid performance by the San Francisco 49ers offensive line up front. And I think as a result of that, we saw the 49ers have a ton of success. Of course, Jordan Mason, 150, over 150 scrimmage yards and 2 touchdowns. And Brock Purdy had some time to throw the football. So let's hop right in. Do me a favor, smash that like button, drop an SDS in the chat, and let's just start breaking down the film. I came away with quite a bit of highlight plays from this particular game. So there are a lot of different avenues to look at, but for this particular one, this is the first play of the game, and I really did like what Colton Mckivitz did here against former 49ers Javon Kinlaw. As you can see, you're going to see Mckivitz just completely wash out Javon Kinlaw. And although it doesn't go for a big gain, it actually kind of goes against the 49ers because Javon Kinlaw's stuck on Brendel's back. Brendel can't peel to linebacker, and so that linebacker is the one who makes the tackle versus being one-on-one in the hole with a DB. But still, a great block by Mckivitz. Mckivitz had a phenomenal, I'm going to get to it, had a phenomenal block on one of the touchdown run to Debo. It was fantastic. It was beautiful. But we're also going to take a look at some other things like what Brock Purdy did, and we'll just vibe out along the way. So this throw I thought was a dime. All things considered, I thought this was a phenomenal throw. Brock is going to be feeling pressure off the right side. You're going to see that he's going to drop his shoulder and kind of let that thing rip. Man, if Debo, I know it's a hard catch, especially with contact being made right there, but do you see how close that ball is to Debo's fingertips? Like, obviously, depending on how big your screen is, might change that, but it looks like it hits him in the fingers. And there is no way 30 is going to get hands on that. So just really a phenomenal job. Mckivitz, I think, gave up this one, and I believe one other one. Other than that, I thought Mckivitz did pretty well in pass protection. But again, still, he felt the pressure, fades, and he let that thing rip. And that was a good pass. It was a difficult catch, but that was a beautiful pass. You'll be able to get another look at it from this angle. Like, if Debo could have stretched just a little bit more, just literally an inch more, it's in his hands. And again, there's contact that's created that might have impeded him from moving further, but this is a beautiful pass. Unfortunate that wasn't able to come down with, but I was like, dang, okay, that's pretty solid. I like this little clip from Kittle. You're going to get to see some creativity on a backside cutoff block. So we see Trent do his cutoff blocks all the time. This one, Kittle like engages, pulls, and then boxes out. It's actually a thing of beauty. I love the details that go into these small nuances. You can see 11 crosses his face, so he uses his momentum against him, pulls him upfield, and then boxes him out. I was like, okay, Kittle. It's like Kittle's been hanging out with Trent Williams a little bit too much. I think all the offensive linemen have been hanging out with Trent Williams a little too much, and Trent Williams really going to start popping on this tape shortly. But this particular one I thought was a really good rep by Dominic Puni. Dominic Puni might be one of the best draft picks the 49ers have had ever in the sense of instant impact, because offensive line is such a hard transition to be able to be dependent, to be able to be high level. It's just a really hard position to be really good at as a rookie. And so when you are watching him like this one against Solomon Thomas got nowhere to go. He's in a literal chokehold. I love it. Look at the base. Nowhere. No ground gained. Fantastic. And if you look across the board, Trent Williams got his guy. Banks, Brendel under control. Mckivitz got 72 locked out. And that allows Brock Purdy to make it through his reads. Now, wasn't able to connect as a good PBU by 56 to get his hands on the ball. But offensive line, man. Offensive line was cooking. And obviously, when you look at this game, you look at Jordan Mason and his breakout party and just like what that looked like and what that meant. And again, you got to look at the 49ers offensive line. You got to look at the guys up front creating those running lanes. For example, look at that lane. You could drive a Mack truck through that. Oh boy, that looks good. Let's try to take a look across the board. So we're going to get a play act, or no, that's not play action. I'm tripping. You're going to get Salbert coming across the formation. It appears, so they're all taking hard, flat steps to the left, but it is design. It does look like it's designed to be it's an interesting one, but whatever it is, it freaking worked because you get Mckivitz to backer, you get Salbert kicking out the defensive end, you get Kittle on a backer, you get Debo up there, and then it's Jordan Mason going head up with the safety. But you can see Solomon Thomas cross Puni's face. He washes him out. Everything else just comes into play, and that backside opens up, and you get a really, really nice gain on that one. So when you look at what the 49ers are trying to accomplish, controlling the line of scrimmage, man, Dominic Puni has really came in and provided a consistent level of play that just they've been searching for a while. Obviously, Brandon Ayuk a little bit rusty throughout this one. I thought that was a good pass, good protection. Try to get a swim here on Puni from Solomon. He stays engaged, is able to ride out. But hey, with Ayuk, that's to be expected. It's one of the reasons why we didn't want Ayuk to miss training camp, because we knew that was going to be one of the pitfalls of it. But anyways, Ayuk came right back, makes a catch. This particular rep I really like from Dominic Puni because he's one-on-one with Trent Williams. So take a look. Number 95 is going to be one-on-one opportunity with Puni. And you can see, I mean, Quinnen Williams is one of, if not the best interior defensive tackles in the league. And you can see the power that he possesses. And a lot of offensive linemen would be done right here. This would be a loss. They would get tossed to the side. They'd try to overcorrect and they would lose leverage. But Puni somehow just remained in front and did not allow Quinnen Williams to get by him. And again, a lot of about offensive line is you can actually lose the rep initially. Sometimes it's about how you recover. And I thought that was a good recovery to be able to maintain his base, keep his feet under him, and ultimately stay in between the quarterback and Quinnen. And he did his job. And that to me, even though wasn't pretty or anything of that nature, it's still a W. That's what we are looking for when we were watching the tape. We just want to make sure that the ultimate goal is executed, and that's exactly what he did. Let's see. We're going to have a Jordan Mason run coming up here. Let's take a look at it. We'll let it play all the way through, and then we'll break it down. Pre-snap motion. The 49ers run pre-snap motion more than pretty much anyone in the NFL. And so you can see Jordan Mason gets a nice hole on a run to the left. Let's break it down and see how this happens. You get a little bit of a motion from Kyle Juszczyk. They allow the defensive end to go free. Juice picks it up. Looks like you're going to get a combo between Trent and George. And George is like, all right, Trent, you got it. I'm on to the next level. You can see that Banks is on to backer with a little bit of help for Brendel. Brendel's able to get that cut off a little bit. Puni can't really cut off this block because he gets caught up in the wash with Brendel and his guy. It's actually a really good job by Colton Mckivitz on the backside to seal off that linebacker. It's actually a really phenomenal job. And then you can see that I thought this one was pretty funny. If you take a look at it from this angle, DJ Reed absolutely destroys his own guy. You're going to see it against Debo right here. He's just going to come in and spear his own player. Key! Bah! Ouch. He went for Mason, and instead he speared his own player. One critique, I actually thought Debo, for the most part, actually blocked really well in this game. I think if you get a better block here by Debo, so like you can maintain and you don't allow DJ Reed to close this off, if you don't have to force Mason to take such a vertical cut back into the wash, you have blockers on the outside. So this could have been close to a touchdown, I think, if we could have got a little bit better seal right here. That would allowed Mason to see how he cuts vertically. If he maintained on this track, if you kind of follow my mouse, and if he was able to run that angle, you would have had this block right here, and you would have had Kittle here, and you would have had Jordan Mason running full speed up the left. Only critique that I have, still a positive gain. I do think that if there was just a little bit more aggressiveness in that block, I think that you would have kept JP on that track to the outside, opposed to having to slip that and then getting caught in the wash, if you see what I'm talking about. So you can see to the left, there is a lot of open space. And if we could have kept him on that angle, I think we could have really opened up that run for a big, even bigger one, but still good nonetheless. Um, all right, we got the Pur-Dog coming up. So Pur-Dog's coming up. If you didn't see it, I posted about this. Uh, it's a it's a special play that the 49ers have. It's literally called Pur-Dog because it's a I called it a double end around. I don't think it's technically a double end around. It's a handoff to an end around. And then you can see Brock Purdy literally goes and runs a route, and he's expecting the ball to come his way. Unfortunately, the New York Jets were all over it. Backside contain was there. And so Debo couldn't set up to throw. But this was absolutely supposed to be a pass to Brock Purdy. And I would have loved to see that. Look at Brock in the it's hard to see. My logo's kind of in the way, but Brock is turning and snapping his head around. He's expecting the ball to be coming. He even sticks his hand out. You see right there in the corner. You see him going like this. He's like, throw it upfield. He said, throw it upfield, throw it towards the end zone. I got it. And you can tell by the way Debo's holding it. He's ready to uncork a pass. I felt if he slipped that, reset the feet, and just let that thing rip, might have had a shot. Might have had a shot on it. But that would have been great. Again, you get a better look of it looks like Purdy's running straight at the DB, like he's going to block him, and then he turns upfield. And there's a lot of space. There's a lot of green over here. So if these guys weren't as clued in, it would have made for a spectacular attempt at this play and probably would have broke the internet. I would have loved to see it. Would have loved to see Debo just plant that back foot and let that thing rip and see if Purdy is able to catch that thing. Would be fantastic. But this is the play that they call Pur-Dog. They obviously pulled it out. I don't know if we'll ever see it again. So we'll see. We'll see if they break this out in any other games. I'm not really sure if that will be the case or not, because I made the comparison when I made a video on this earlier. Is we saw Trent Williams have a designed play. We've seen multiple trick plays a little bit, like where we had Trent pull in that divisional round game against the Packers, I believe it was. And then we had the Jags game in 2021 where they tried to scheme up a touchdown for him. They'd never gone back to it. So I don't know. I don't know if those are like a one and only type situation. But I'm not expecting to see that play again, even though I would absolutely love to see it. I thought this could have been another one of those big time gains. I know why it didn't, because you can see right there Solomon Thomas is holding Aaron Banks from being able to get on his track and get to second level. So that puts Aaron Banks behind. And so as you can see, Jordan Mason is trying to stay, maintain his block, stay behind his blockers. But if you get this angle, and if he was able to get on his track, so let's say you take Banks and you put him about right here, and you get this great block by Puni right there, and you get Banks coming around here, that keeps JP on this track, you've got 2 blockers to the outside. You potentially either cut it up to right through here or you bounce it outside, and that could have been an even bigger play. It's just one of the pitfalls of playing in the trenches. And again, you could see Solly totally gets him caught up. And so it affects the timing, it affects the angle, and it really could have been a big, big play if Banks didn't get caught up in the wash. But that happens. That happens all the time. This one, we have a Jordan Mason run. I thought this was one of his better runs, and it really showcases his vision and showcases his cutting ability. I thought it was really nice. You're going to be able to see how quickly he's able to cut this thing back and make a bunch of subtle moves. Cut there, quick cut there, cut to the out. Like, you can see how quickly his change of direction is. The instincts of just how many different movements he had. That cut, that cut, that cut, that, like, that's crazy. That's one of the things that I love about Jordan Mason as a runner is he can do this. It's so easy for him. And as a result of that, he makes a bunch of guys miss and has a fantastic, fantastic run. So, hey, good stuff by Jordan Mason. These were some of the things that we saw early on. Jordan Mason played at Georgia Tech. This next play was one of my favorite plays from Dominic Puni. I think it's this one right here. So, one of the trends that we've been identifying when we break down Dominic Puni's tape is he can take 2. He will block 2 consistently. Almost, I think, every game that we've watched of Dominic Puni, he blocks 2. And so you're going to see Solly crash down. This appears to be a designed stunt. The idea is Solly hooks. You see that hook? That arm over Puni's arm is intentional. It's so that Puni can't get off the block. And so you can see you got two slanters, 1 looper. Mckivitz has to shove him off, and he's got to take the looper. But the idea is that Puni is supposed to pass Solly off to Brendel, but he can't because he's completely hooked. And because Mckivitz has a good shove, it pushes that guy right into Puni, and then Puni snatches him. And so Puni right here is blocking 2 while he's getting absolutely held like crazy by Solomon Thomas. So on one hand, Solly has got his arm locked, and then Puni is doing just enough to keep 72 off Brock, and then Brock delivers a dart to Jawan Jennings over the middle, and then Jawan Jennings does Jawan Jennings things. So again, when you hear, Chris Forster talk about Dominic Puni and him understanding football, these are nuances. I always attribute offensive line awareness and kind of processing to how you handle stunts. Stunts are very difficult, especially in a situation like this, because your mind tells you he's slanting inside. Okay, I need to stay with this guy. But in reality, that's what they want you to do to get you out of position. and then they come right off your hip. And so he has to fight against that. He has to understand and feel it. And while he's doing that, he can't disengage from Solly, and he picks up the other guy with his open arm. It's really fun to watch with Dominic Puni. He really is uh, a phenomenal player. It's just crazy. It's just crazy how quickly he's acclimated. It's crazy how quickly he's become a stout player for the 49ers, become a good player for the 49ers. This right here, this play was one of his best. And unfortunately, it didn't count because this was like a Debo holding penalty, I guess. But when you watch Puni right here, so watch Puni, he's got 3 tech, damn near inside shade of the tackle. He's got to reach this. So he's got to get his helmet across, does that, watch the hips. The hips go along, and that is how you reach a defender, and then he tosses him. This is fantastic. Watch it again from this angle. Again, head across, outside shoulder, hips follow. See that? That's textbook. That is textbook right there for offensive line play. And then throws him. The Punisher. And that's a veteran right there. That's Clemens. He's been around the league a long time. Getting handled by a rookie like that. Oh, boy. Dominic dominating. Look at that, man. This is phenomenal. Great job by Kittle kicking out the linebacker. Good job by Mckivitz getting hat on his guy. Actually, a great block by Brendel to be able to cut this and seal that off. Debo, I actually love the effort here. I think it's great. It's just unfortunately gets that hand caught right there. It's a little ticky tack. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little ticky tack, but I think because you can see Sauce goes to disengage and then can't, and then you see some of the jersey being pulled, they call it, but I'm not gonna lie, it's a little ticky tack. I'm a firm believer, man. You get those paws on the inside. Obviously, it's difficult when they go to pull away. That's the challenge, right? As they go to pull away, even though you're in good position, they go to pull away, and then that's what the refs see, and that's when they throw the flag. So I'm honestly like, I think this is great effort by Debo. This is what we want to see from Debo. Unfortunately, it gets called as a penalty, but that's something that I think we can clean up. Like the effort is what I'm looking for. Because it was like you can see that if he gets, so you see how that hand hits on the outside of the arm. If he can get that hand on the inside chest plate and then grab on, and then you maintain that positioning, that's how you can kind of skirt a hold sometimes. But hey, it's not that big of a deal because you know why? They come back and they score pretty much right after that. It really did not take that long. They got hit with, I think, did they get hit with penalties? Another penalty, or was that? I think that might have been on the Jets. Look at Jordan Mason, man. What a really, really good run. This one, look at Dominic Puni get to the second level. Look at him own 56. 56 is one of the better linebackers in the NFL. He stops him in his tracks. Look at that. That's great. And look at the block by Trent Williams on this. To be able to hold that block, that is such a hard block in the NFL, man. To be able to hold that edge, Salbert's able to get to the other backer, Banks is able to get onto his guy, and then you get one-on-one with the safety. We'll take that every single day of the week. Love it. Colton Mckivitz is able to cut off his guy. That's phenomenal right there. That's what we want to see. All five, including tight ends, both tight ends, wide receivers, everyone doing their job, results into a very, very positive gain. Again, Puni, man. Look how big he is. They don't got an answer for Puni yet. The crazy thing about Dominic Puni is he's going to get better. That's hearing him talk about the game, talk about the performance, talking about how he viewed it. This guy's going to get a lot better. And that's a pretty cool situation for them. So this play right here, Colton Mckivitz deserves a ton of praise for this rep and what he was able to do here. Just absolutely beautiful. And this is going to be a better angle to kind of showcase what happened here. So look at how wide the defensive end, and this is a former first-round draft pick, I think 2 years ago. You're going to get George Kittle. You can make the case it might be 9. I called it a 6 because it looks closer to being head up. Then it's a little shaded to the outside, but I called it a 6 tech because I think they're as close to being head up as possible. Mckivitz has the job of getting his helmet on this shoulder. That's hard. That's a lot of ground to gain. Get the head on this shoulder, get the hips around, turn him in. Watch what Mckivitz does right here. Gets it and then gets 2 on to the ground, and then watch him flex. Yeah, he deserves to flex on that one. That is a flex-worthy play right there. Watch him get his head across, hips come around, power. If he doesn't push 99 into 56, you can see the track that 56 is on. He was going to light up Debo. It would have been 56 and 36 hitting Debo, 4 over the top. Because Mckivitz wins against 99, he then takes 56 out, and that allows Debo Samuel to only take on 1 hit as he goes into the end zone, opposed to getting ear-holed by 56 right there. So, honestly, a really, really good block by Mckivitz. I would have to say it's one of the better blocks I've ever seen Colton make. That is a hard block. It's hard for multiple different reasons, and he takes 2, and he saves his guy. Because you can't tell me that 56 isn't going to destroy. Like, look at how that line that he's on. If you time it up with that cut, 56 is ear-holing him. And so as a result of Colton's block, he saves Debo a literal headache, and we get a touchdown on it as well. So pretty good stuff, man. I know Colton Mckivitz isn't perfect. I don't ever expect Colton Mckivitz to be perfect. There's going to be 2 to 3 reps every single game. He's going to struggle in pass protection. That's just what it is, but I don't think that's necessarily a problem because so far what I'm seeing on the other plays is he's holding up well. And in some instances, like that one, he's having as a phenomenal block. We get a little Brock Purdy dime to George Kittle. Look at the protection up front. Brendel gets caught up a little bit with the stunt. He's able to recover just enough. Still hits Purdy, though. You want to see Brendel kind of wall that off and not have to recover and then engage. But it still allows Brock. I mean, Brock feels that he's got a guy in his lap, and he somehow still just throws a beautiful ball. Fantastic. Let's see. On this particular play, I really like this block by Debo. I think Debo is going to take either 11 or 21. I can't remember. All right, takes 21. Like, that's what I'm talking about, Debo. Like, cook, dude. Like, yes, that's phenomenal. He got 21 all jacked up. And as a result of that, he has a crucial block in this being a positive gain. And again, look at Jordan Mason. Look at how he turns in the hole off this block and then shoots upfield. Like, what? The start stop there is insane. It's really crazy. See how he just hits, like he hits Debo and he's like, all right, I guess I'm going this way. Scoot. It's like, damn. JP, man, he's been like that for sure. Here's another angle. Again, good block. The only critiques for Debo is try to get the hands inside, right? They start seeing the hands across back and stuff like that. They want to throw the flag. But other than that, it's a great block. I love it. I love all of it. It's a good block. Good block by Kittle. Good block by Mckivitz to hold up and make sure Kinlaw isn't making a play. It's just crazy how JP found that hole. Yeah, how tight he turned that thing. He just went doop. Taking hits too. Let's see. What are we on? Oh, this one I really wanted to highlight the pass protection from both Trent Williams and Mckivitz. I love what Trent does here. Trent is the only one who can do these things. I've never seen this before. Like, so that's a kick step. The idea of a kick step is you kick your back step and then you replace this foot under you, and that keeps you kind of. That's what a kick step is. Trent is fake kick stepping. I don't like. His plant foot isn't moving, so he's like. But I think I know why. And look how low he is. It's so that he's not giving up interior pressure. But he just kind of hangs out, but that kick step is still kind of kicking back there. And then he engages, and then he's like, all right, It's time to move. Dude, Trent is a different animal. Crazy. And a dot, Purdy puts it right on the face mask of Jordan Mason. It's really nice. If you look at the other side, Colton Mckivitz. So we talked about how he uses his right arm now to hand bait. So you see the bait that goes to initiate a cross chop. I love this from Colton, man. People aren't seeing these small nuances of what Colton's been able to add to his bag. Baits and he punches the cross chop hand. So he baits the cross chop, punches the cross chop, is able to re-engage and completely neutralize the defensive end because he took away his move. Like, this is the game within the game that I don't think a lot of people understand, but this is something that to me is new this year with Colton Mckivitz. This is him taking his brain and using it against the defensive tackle to win a rep, or defensive end to win a rep, and I love that. You know, is Colton Mckivitz going to be a Trent Williams? No, he's not. But if you can do stuff like this to put yourself in a position to win, that's all you're really looking for. And with Colton Mckivitz, I'm seeing improvement. I think people struggle with the idea of like, oh, well, I saw him get beat. Yeah, he's gonna get beat. Every offensive lineman is going to get beat. And I think people just have a really hard time understanding that just because you get beat doesn't mean you're necessarily a bad offensive lineman. Now, it's a great indicator that you're a bad offensive lineman, but just like being a cornerback, you are going to get beat. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I've seen Trent Williams get beat, all of those things. So with Colton, you're seeing improvement. You're seeing him add technique to his game. You're seeing him take strides. That's what you're looking for, especially for a guy who's heading into second year as a starter. So those are the things that I'm on alert for, as I'm trying to see what are the differences from last year to this year, what techniques are new, and Colton has added multiple pass rushing, like he's figured out that he can take the mental games to the defensive tackles, and it's been fun to watch. All right, we got Debo getting loose. We also have Trent Williams being a bully. Look at Trent over here. What a bully. You're going to get a better angle of it from this side of him just bullying. Watch the bully. He's like, "Oh, you want to go with a swipe inside? That's cute. I'm just gonna throw you into Javon Kinlaw and take 3 guys down with you." I love Trent. I literally love watching Trent. It's a blessing to be able to watch Trent. I feel like we have got 2 bots communicating in the chat, so I'm just gonna get rid of them. That's weird. I've never seen that before. But it's, if you're a 49er fan and you appreciate quality football play, you really just need to stop and smell the roses when it comes to Trent Williams. It literally is like you're watching football greatness. You're watching a guy who is going to be a certified first ballot Hall of Famer just dominate guys. Pure domination. and I don't take it lightly. You guys know I love watching offensive line play, and it's just not something that I take for granted. Love watching Trent play. So much fun. Um, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get through all the plays tonight. I'm going to try to get into a little bit of hyperdrive. I got to dip out here in a second, but let's get through some plays. So we got Pur-Dog to Jawan. I'm gonna stop slowing these down so much. Bink got him. All right, let's get. Oh, this was probably one of the best throws of the day. I know there's been a lot of stink about this drop, or not this one. I believe it's this one. Just an absolute dime. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful throw. Again, we talked about it already with Ayuk. This is what happens when you don't get into training camp. It's not that he can't do it. It's just, again, it's not as natural of a feeling. Just a perfect ball, like perfect ball. Oh, that would have been so good for Ayuk, and I think just for everyone to kind of heal from the process that played out this summer. But he's going to get more opportunities at that, and I think he's going to bring him in. I'm not necessarily worried about that. These are the same things of and reasons why you want to get your players into training camp. Obviously, Trent Williams is a different animal. He doesn't need training camp because he's a freak. Oh man, that would have been such an awesome catch. This one, Trent gets him on the ground, but he trips up, so I'm not going to really highlight that one all that much. This one I love. So watch Trent versus Solomon Thomas, a little piggyback ride. It must be so demoralizing to have a guy like Trent who can literally just get you so out of sorts that he just hops on your back and you go down. Like it's all manipulation. That's all it is. He's just manipulating these defenders and then hops on his back for a little ride. This one was nearly a sack. It looked like he had a protection bust by Banks. I'm not sure what Banks was thinking because it looks like they're sliding protection to the left, so he should be working to the left. He's almost working like he expects Trent to stay there, even though Trent has got an outside rusher, so Trent has to vacate. But because of that, Banks isn't clued in to the fact that Trent's not there anymore. So that opens up Solly. And I mean, Purdy just this slight move of stepping up forces Solomon to miss that tackle. And then he dumps off to Debo, and then Debo makes a good play. Justin bought a Jordan Mason jersey. I think before he even made the final roster. Absolutely, Justin. That's why he's the head of the Sourdough Scouts, man. He was on. He was the one who put me on JP. He's like, you need to check out JP. I was like, all right. It's like, okay, I see. I think I see what you see. Let's see. Let's get a couple more in here. Let's get Kyle Juszczyk's dot. We don't get too many Kyle Juszczyk highlights, but when we do, they're always good ones. Honestly, would love to see. I think Kyle Juszczyk is such an underutilized weapon. Like I feel like the 49ers could use him more. Obviously, he's going to be used as a fullback, but dude, use him as a tight end too. I don't know, just figure it out. Like he's such a good player. How do we get him on the field more? How do we get the ball into his hands more often? Feed the juice. That's all he does. He makes plays when rarely his number is called, but he gets it done. All right, we're gonna have a Jordan Mason touchdown here coming up. This one I've got to call out for Kittle. Yeah, good block, Kittle. Watch Kittle right here. They move him all over the place, but he's going to come crash down and he's going to knock someone on their behind. Takes the middle linebacker out of the play. Debo, look at Debo too. Debo pancake. See, that's what I'm saying, Debo. Let's go, dog. Debo isn't a natural blocker, and that's fine. I don't need that from Debo. I need this from Debo. This is what I'm talking about. Debo, man, I really appreciate how he's been. I consider it as him working. I feel like he's putting a much better effort into being a blocker. And again, you see Kittle take his guy out, Debo takes his guy out, Jordan makes a good cut, beautiful cut, and then finds it. Dude, what a tough son of a gun. Oh, let's go. I actually hadn't heard about. I was actually waiting to see who got that. Prince says, "Thanks for the opportunity to give away with the autograph app. Won the Brandon Ayuk signed jersey. Let's go. Let's go. I'm glad. Love to hear that." We had two pretty cool giveaways this week. We did a signed Ayuk jersey and we did 2 tickets to the game yesterday. But again, awesome job right here by Kittle, by Debo, and then great vision by Jordan Mason to be able to get that done. I want to show one more. I want to show Burford pancake. Burford came in obviously in place of Aaron Banks, and he came in and laid a fantastic pancake. So Burford's right over here playing in the left guard. He's going to pull. Boom. Look at that hit. Boom. Like, just knocks him on his behind. I don't even think he was expecting that much power. Number 11 just falls backwards straight on his butt. Boom. Another angle of it. Pulling. Clobbering number 11. Boop. Love it. Hey, man. We know it's a war of attrition. Depth is going to be tested, and it is what it is. I love it. First time winning something like that. I love that. I love that stuff happens, man. It's one of the cool things about being able to connect with cool partners and be able to give awesome giveaways is giving back to the squad, giving back to the SDS. But I appreciate everyone for tapping in. I got to get out of here. But my takeaway is the offensive line looks good. It's going to improve. It's not perfect. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some kind of shuffling at one point later on in the season, but I would say Puni's locked in. I don't think Colton Mckivitz is going anywhere. We know where Trent Williams is, all that good stuff. So I don't think that this unit is necessarily the final unit, but we'll see. We'll see how it progresses throughout the season and all that stuff. So appreciate everyone for tapping in with the channel as always. I'm out for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to